Okay, and Leo. What do I have for my Leos this month? Leo for December 2025. Let's see. My cards. All right. Leo for December 2025. Let's see. All right. And so for Leo, what do I have for you guys for December 2025, Leo? I feel like for you, Leo, you've kind of been a little rusty, a little out of touch here with, the spiritual side of you, your intuition, your, I just feel overall, energy, right? Where maybe you guys have been it could be, life was too busy, right? Things got busy, it's a little hectic. We had the Mercury in retrograde that was just all over the place. You have the holidays coming up, which is, also spreading you really thin. But I feel like with you guys, you kind of lost that time of, I guess, self, reflection or self understanding, which I feel like you guys are pretty aware, okay, Leos. You guys love yourself. You guys are pretty aware of yourself and who you are and, what you're going through. But I feel like you guys have kind of slowed down a little bit on that mental check-in, that self, check-in for the day of like, how am I feeling? How am I doing? What's going on? And I think that you've kind of stopped nurturing that, part of you and you stop feeding that, self-regulation, I guess you could call it. And that's kind of causing a little bit of problems for you guys this month. I think that that's going to start to unfold and play out where, in other situations and in social settings, like work, family, whatever, you guys might start to see that kind of like play out where it's like you're feeling one way or you're thinking you're feeling one way and it's like you're acting another. Maybe you're like a little snappy towards people, you're quick to like kind of be like, F you, get away from me. I don't want to talk to you and shutting things down, really quickly and kind of pulling yourself into this like defensive like hermit state where you just like don't want anything to do with people. Like you don't want to talk to them. You don't want anything to do with it. Like everyone's kind of attacking you. They're coming, from all different directions. But I think that's because you guys are a little bit out of tune. You guys are kind of out of check with yourselves a little bit. You haven't had that time to slow down and dedicate to yourself, to check in, to self-regulate, to feed yourself. And you know, this in tune, I think, can like kind of cloud your intuition, your gut feeling, your communication with spirit, maybe even the messages you've been receiving. I feel like also, too, you guys, Leo, maybe at one point you were like, oh my God, like spirit was talking to me all the time. I was getting all these messages. Like I was super in touch with, my life path and what I needed to be doing and every single lesson that was coming my way like I knew what I needed to do, but now I feel like they don't talk to me. I feel like I'm kinda cut off, and you're not cut off. It's just you haven't been able to slow down. You haven't been able to stop. You haven't been able to listen. You haven't been able to get back into your routine of doing whatever it is you do, like, for your spiritual self-care because you can do all the self-care you want, physically on your body and, maybe even mentally, like taking a nap, taking a day off, cutting off the world, turning off your phone. But like you also have to keep up that spiritual maintenance and like that intuitive maintenance and like clean out. And I think it's time for you guys to do a reset and clean house here where you guys are able to kind of like get back to the basics and start over to feed that intuition to reopen the communication channels of, you and spirit and you and the universe, and things will really start to flow. They'll start to come out and you'll start to see that also. And I feel like very quickly, I feel like in a matter of days, if you guys are able to slow down, stop, kind of recognize like where I went wrong, where I kind of shut off, what was going on in my life when I cut that part of me off, what was going on in my life when I muted that area of my mind and unblock it. You need to do some unblocking, you need to do some releasing, get rid of that, and then it'll start to flow. It'll start to come back into you. We always have an open channel of communication with spirit, but sometimes when we cut things off or like we're ignoring it, it can close up again. And you have to, again, keep that open, dust off the cobwebs, keep that channel of energy and communication flowing freely to not have any more blocks, kind of clogging up the tubes there. But this month, I think that you're going to start to really see that kinda really ignite again, that light will come back through to you guys. I think you're gonna start to feel overall well balanced and well, maybe self-regulated, I guess, of the overall energy, of you and the universe and you and spirit. And maybe you may have noticed your manifestation isn't playing out as much. You're like pretty good manifestors, but I feel like lately for you guys, things just haven't been showing up. They just haven't been coming because, if you're blocked in one area, it clogs all others. So do that cleanse, do that spiritual release of, whatever it is that you need to do to unblock yourself, get back into the flow of that higher energy, that higher vibration that you guys have, Leo, and things will flow a lot smoother for you.